What's going on, everybody? It's AG here. Week 4 of the college football season is in the books. So today we're going to be revealing my Week 5 college football top 25. Not just a ton of movement at the top, but towards the bottom, we did have a lot of movement. And then in the middle, had some teams drop and stuff like that. Not just any crazy upsets yet, but we did have some movement. So let's go ahead and start here. Number 25, Notre Dame. The Irish win again, but Northern Illinois lost. So that loss is going to look worse and worse probably as the season goes on. But Notre Dame, if they can just keep winning, this week, they've got a big game against Louisville. That'll kind of help them move up or drop out, depending on how that result goes. Number 24, Rutgers. They get a win once again. They get the win over Virginia Tech here. Close game, but Rutgers, they have a pretty manageable schedule, and they have the leading Big Ten rusher from last year, Kyle Monunga, at running back. They should be kind of a sleeper in the Big Ten, in my opinion. Number 23, Illinois. They enter the top 25 for me. Big win over Nebraska. That gives them 2 ranked wins so far, over Nebraska and over Kansas. Illinois should be in the top 25 this week. Could even see them in the top 20. I don't think they're a top 20 team going down the line, but as far as resume is concerned at the moment, they got to be in the top 25. Number 22, BYU. They replaced Kansas State. I thought that was a trap game for Kansas State. I figured BYU would beat them, but BYU handled them. I didn't see them beating them that bad. BYU enters the top 25, and they look like they're going to be in the thick of things in the Big 12 race, along with a few other teams. Number 21, South Carolina. They handled business today. They had that close loss against LSU last week, as well as a win over Kentucky previously. South Carolina, they have that, that one loss, but of the one-loss teams still available, they definitely have one of the better resumes. Number 20, Oklahoma. So despite them losing pretty handily to Tennessee, despite the score, I was impressed with Oklahoma's defense. I thought they played good. Now they're going to have to figure out that offense, that quarterback situation. But if they can, their defense is actually solid enough, I think, to win them some ball games. Number 19, Oregon. Still haven't done anything to me yet, win me over. So they keep dropping every week because, Oregon State struggled with Purdue a little bit at first yesterday. And Oregon, if they can, run the table, run the gauntlet in the Big Ten, they might move up, but still they have to get there first. Number 18, Iowa. They take care of business against Minnesota. They have that one close loss to Iowa State, but Iowa should be in the thick of things in the Big Ten as well come the end of the season with how their schedule plays out. Number 17, Iowa State. They look like they're going to be one of the contenders in the Big 12, along with a couple teams we haven't talked about yet, but also BYU, Kansas State, West Virginia. But Iowa State handles their business today against Arkansas State. They look good once again, dominated them. And really, with what Iowa State has back from last year, I think they could be a serious threat in the Big 12. Number 16, Oklahoma State. Their offense couldn't get going today against Utah. Utah really shut them down. Now, these two teams could play again, come Big 12 championship if both these teams win out. But Oklahoma State kind of has no room for error now. They got to start winning. Number 15, Missouri. They look bad today. Struggled, barely beat Vanderbilt in overtime. Now, it was kind of a messy game, but Missouri, I've been kind of hyping them up this year. I thought they would be good, just judging from how they were last year and what they had back. But starting to get a little skeptical here from just how good Missouri is. Now, with how their schedule plays out, they could make the playoffs still because it's pretty easy. But they didn't look impressive to me today. Number 14, Louisville. We're going to find out what they're made of this week. They play Notre Dame this upcoming week. And we'll see, if they can win the ACC. I think they should definitely be one of the teams in the conversation. In the ACC with Jeff Brom as their head coach, they're probably always going to be a top 25 team now. He's a pretty solid head coach. But we'll see Notre Dame and Louisville this week. Number 13, Utah. Most impressive win of the week, in my opinion. Kind of handled Oklahoma State in Stillwater without Cam Rising. So that defense is good enough to win the Big 12 by itself. And then if they can get Cam Rising back come, towards the end of the season, come playoff time, Utah's a team to watch. Number 12, LSU. They're doing what they need to do now. They're winning. They lost to USC, but USC, despite losing to Michigan, was competitive enough to kind of keep them in the conversation here. So number 12, we got LSU. Number 11, USC. They don't drop too much for me because Michigan, despite losing to Michigan, Michigan does have a good loss. So USC stays at 11, but they're going to have to figure out some things on offense. Now, Michigan was a good defense, but Miller Moss, that offense kind of looked stagnant at some points yesterday, but their defense looked solid, I thought. Number 10, Michigan. This is another one similar to Utah where their defense is good enough to win them ball games. Their only loss, they did get handled by Texas, but I think that's saying more about Texas than it is Michigan. Michigan's defense, top 5 defense, but that offense is terrible right now. They're going to have to figure out some way to get a passing game going. Otherwise, once they get really into the thick of Big Ten play, they're going to be in trouble when they start playing some tougher competition, because if they have no downfield threats as far as the quarterback throwing the ball, they're going to have issues. Number 9, Clemson. They dominated NC State. I guess I was wrong on NC State this year. I know Grayson McCall has been going through some injuries, but I thought they would really be in the conversation in the ACC, but they've gotten dominated by Tennessee and Clemson now. Clemson, nice bounce back win once again after that Georgia loss a few weeks ago. Clemson's going to keep rising and might have something to say in the ACC with Miami. Number 8, Tennessee, really good win. They look good over Oklahoma. Now, they kind of played it safe in the second half. I don't know if that was due to how the field was or what, but they get the win. They take care of business in Norman. Number 7, Miami. I thought they might struggle with South Florida. Did for a little bit in the first half, but ended up stretching it out. Really good win there over South Florida, in my opinion. Number 6, Penn State. They keep winning. Offense went off this week. We'll see what they're made of pretty soon. I think they've got a ranked matchup with Illinois this week, so that could be interesting. I think they'll beat them, but should be an interesting matchup. Number 5, Ole Miss. They once again win despite Lane Kiffin rumors, the Florida flying around. Ole Miss keeps looking good. Number 4, Alabama. This is the week we're going to see what they're made of. Jalen Milroe is back once again. And, they've got a lot of different pieces around him, different coaching staff. They've got Georgia this week. We're going to find out soon enough. Number 3, Ohio State. They handle Marshall and really, nothing impressive or non-impressive. They did what they needed to do. Number 2, Georgia. They've got Alabama, like I said, this upcoming week, so we'll figure out there. One of them could jump Texas if one of them looks absolutely dominant in the win. We'll see. And number 1, Texas. So I finally moved them above Georgia. I haven't had them above Georgia just yet, but that Michigan win over USC, in my opinion, makes that Texas win over Michigan look even more impressive. They're going to need Quinn Ewers back to win the conference and make a run in the playoffs for sure, because Arch Manning, as good as he is and is going to be, he still does have some freshman issues. So I think they need Quinn Ewers back in the long run against Oklahoma, against Georgia, against A&M. But as for right now, Texas is number 1 for me. But what do you think? Who would you move up? Who would you move down? Who would you add onto this list? Let me know. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.